Om Shanti. This is the AvyaktMurli of 24th of January 2016. The title, Spinners of the Discus of Self-Realization and Rulers of the Globe are World Benefactors. Today, the Knowledgeful Father is pleased to see his Master Knowledgeful children. Each one of you children play very well with the jewels of knowledge that you have received from the Father. Each of you experiences your knowledgeful stage number-wise according to your capacity and power. The knowledgeful stage means to experience every point of knowledge and become an embodiment of that. When Bap Dada directs you to stabilize in the knowledgeful stage, are you able to do so within a second? Are you able to do this, or are you already stabilized in that stage? Stabilize yourself in that stage and then look at all the souls of the world. What do you experience? What do all the souls look like? Experience in the intellect you having such a powerful and unlimited stage. The stage of being Trikaldarshi, Trinetri, far-sighted, a world almighty authority, a master of the treasures, filled with all virtues and attainments, is such an elevated stage. While seated on such an elevated stage, look below you and see all the various types of souls. First of all, look at your devotee souls. What can you see? There are many queues of the various devotees who worship all the special deity souls in various ways. There are countless devotees. Some are Satapradhan devotees who perform their worship with great devotion. Others are Rajo or Tamoguni devotees who worship because of their own selfish motives. However, they too are in the queue of devotees. The poor souls are searching. They are wandering around and crying out. Are you able to hear their calls? A fly was flying around Baba. Just as this fly is wandering around here, and you all have the thought to grant it liberation, so too are your thoughts for your devotees just as intense. Acha, you have seen the devotees. Now look at the religious souls. They adopt so many names, so many costumes, and so many different methods. They have adopted so many different attractive facilities. There is a very good bazaar for all the splendor of religion. In each showcase, a showpiece of their own different method is visible. Some are eating and drinking a lot, others have renounced their food and are engaged in doing tapasya. The method of one is to eat, drink and be merry, and the method of another is to renounce everything. This is a wonderful scene, is it not? Some are dressed in red and others in yellow. All the different varieties have different theories. Hey Master Knowledgeful Souls, what thought arises within you when you see them? You Master Supreme Souls are benefactors of those religious souls, and so what thoughts do you have? Do you souls, who are images of upliftment for the world, think about uplifting them, or is each of you busy in uplifting yourself? Are you only occupied with your own center? You are children of the Father of all souls, and all souls are your brothers. Hey Master Knowledgeful Souls, does the vision of your thoughts ever go to these brothers of yours? Do you experience your intellect to be so unlimited and far-sighted? You are not spending your time in trivial matters, are you? Are you able to see the unlimited task whilst remaining in your elevated stage? Now look at the third side. The scientists who will help you in your future kingdom are now making so much effort in this confluence age. They are creating so many inventions. You are able to hear everything now because of the help of the scientists, mic, headphones, etc. They are refining their inventions and will present these to you elevated souls as a gift and then return home. Those souls too have so much renunciation. They are so intelligent and make so much effort. They themselves make the effort and give you the reward of that. Do you think about how to benefit those souls? Or do you just think that they are atheists and ignore them and think, what would they know? However, whether they are atheists or theists, they are still Baba's children. They are your brothers. In terms of brotherhood, those souls will receive some type of inheritance. As world benefactors, would you not allow your vision of benevolence to fall on those souls? They too have a right. Each one's way of claiming his right is individual. Acha, now let's move on. Look at the rulers of the kingdoms in this land and abroad. Do you see them? Do their kingdoms fluctuate or are they stable? What scene can you see of the rulers of these kingdoms? There is a game played as a memorial of the previous cycle. Do you know this game? It was loved by Sakar Baba. The game of Chopad, a game with moves similar to chess but played with dice. One moment, a player would have a winning double six, and the next moment he would be defeated so much that he wouldn't even have enough courage to sustain his own family. 1 minute he would be a crownless emperor, and the next minute he would be begging for votes. Can you see this game? They are hungry for name and prestige. You have to give a drop of something to such souls. Become merciful to them, and with your vision of mercy in your form of a bestower, give them a grain and make them content. The service that each section does is your own. You can go into the details of it yourselves. Now let's move on. There is a lot of variety in the general public. Some are singing one song and others are singing another song. However, everywhere the song of I want this is being sung. What song would you sing to bring their song to an end? Do you great knowledgeable souls, you great donors, you great Shaktis, who are bestowers of blessings, you master bestowers, you bestowers of fortune with the second's drishti, have elevated thoughts of benefiting all souls in this way? Do you have the time to look in all directions? Have you become a searchlight or a lighthouse? Have you now looked everywhere when you toured around? Such world benefactors, Trikaldarshi, Trinetri, Master Knowledgeful, Master World Creators, should tour around the whole world and cast your vision everywhere. Only when you tour around the world every day would you be called spinners of the discus of self-realization. Together with this, you would also be called rulers of the globe. Are you just spinners of the discus of self-realization, or are you also rulers of the globe? You are both, are you not? To such master knowledgeful souls, who tour round the whole world, to the rulers of the globe, who have the right to be masters of the self, to those who are merciful to all souls, to those whose vision is benevolent to all, to the elevated souls who are equal to the Father, Bap-Dada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. Today, Didi and Dadi were both sitting in front of Bap-Dada. Why is Bap-Dada pleased to see his special instrument children? In this iron-aged world, no father is able to see how the kingdom is being ruled after his son has inherited the throne from him. However, the Alokik Father and Parlokik Father are very pleased to see in a practical form how their children, who are seated on the throne of service, are carrying out the task of service. It is a speciality of the confluence age that the Father himself is able to see his children doing this. This system will also continue from the beginning of the Golden Age. There too the Father will watch his child after giving him the tilak of the kingdom. No one can see this in the Iron Age. Bap-Dada watches this every day. At every moment, every scene, every thought, word, deed and connection are all clear to Bap-Dada to an even greater extent than they are clear to you. Bap-Dada is pleased to see each task at every moment. He is seeing the practical return. The Father has made you children equal to himself, and you children are giving your response to this. This is why Baba is pleased to see his children. Baba becomes especially pleased to see you play one particular scene. Baba sees a wonderful dance of all dances every day. You dance this dance a great deal throughout the day. Everyone performs this dance, but you, Dadis, are the special instruments for this. This is why those who are instruments for this have to do this much more. It is the dance of harmonizing sanskars. Before you carry out any task, you have to perform this dance. When you harmonize with one another, a meeting also takes place. For how long do you perform this dance throughout the day? Bap-Dada has a TV and a radio, etc., and you can imagine what scenes Baba would be seeing. Even the scenes of conflicting sanskars are very good. The bodies of foreigners are very elastic, flexible, and they are able to mold themselves as they want. So, it is becoming easy to mold yourselves too, according to how you want. So, the scene is also very good. At first, you are very tight, and then you become a little loose. Once you become a little loose, you start to harmonize. After this harmonious meeting, you start to dance in happiness. How beautiful that scene is! Everything of Bap-Dada's works automatically. All types of music and instruments are ever ready. As soon as he thinks of something, it emerges. Scientists today are refining everything and making them very subtle. They are making everything very small and yet very powerful. You can all see this in a tiny point. If you went into the expansion, it would seem very large, but when you make it small, it becomes completely like a point. Even so, Bap-Dada surrenders himself to you children for your efforts and courage, because no matter what you children are like, once you have said Baba, you have completely surrendered yourselves, for after all, you are my children. The Father only sees the benefit, even in the mistakes of children. In your physical world, When a small child falls down, then in order to make him happy, you tell him to look at what he has found. You change the topic. Here too, if your children stumble, tokkar, whilst moving along, then the father reminds you that it is by stumbling in this way that you become experienced and are able to become the Lord's idols, Thakur. Baba does not look at your stumbling. Baba looks to see how much you have become a Lord, idol, through your stumbling. This is why Baba deeply loves each one of you children. It doesn't matter whether any of you become part of the cavalry or the infantry, because without the infantry, there couldn't have been victory. That is why every soul is essential. Baba looks at all three aspects of time. He doesn't only look at the present time. Sometimes you children only look at the present, and you therefore sometimes become confused as to what has happened and why it happened. Bapdada meeting teachers. How many have you made into teachers similar to yourselves? The seniors are seniors, but the younger ones are equal to the father. When your hands are ready, they will not be able to remain without doing service. Service will then automatically increase. Then the versions that Bapdada spoke in advance earlier on will become practical. Where have you reached now? Just as every town in every state is shown as a dot on a map, in the same way, where have you reached in terms of service? A lot of service has yet to be done. You now have to continue to increase serving a lot more. You are now experiencing in practice the words you heard so many years ago. The Father's desire is that each one of you looks after many centers, for only then would you be called a number one teacher. Since the Prime Minister of the Iron Age is able to tour around and visit so many places in one day, how many places should the teachers of the Confluence Age be able to visit in order to be called a king who is a ruler of the globe? So what do you have to do for this? Make plans for this. You don't have to make as much effort to serve abroad. It takes a lot of effort in Bharat. The land abroad is safe from stories of gossip. In Bharat, they even have to make this effort. Secondly, souls abroad have seen everything and have now become tired of it all, whereas souls from Bharat have only just begun to see everything. Such desires have only just awakened in the people of Bharat, whereas such desires of those abroad are now ending. This is why serving the lands abroad is easier than serving Bharat. You are lucky. You can receive instant fruit of the service there very quickly. Bapdada meeting a group. In the world, the family members of someone who leaves home are not that pleased. However, when Bapdada sees his children leaving home, he becomes very pleased. Why? Because he knows that each of you worthy children is going to go and give the proof. You are not just going, but you are going to bring others back with you. When one of you leaves and then brings many back with you, there is pleasure. No matter where you go, Bapdada cannot leave you alone. Even if he wanted to leave you alone, he wouldn't do so. Even if your children want to leave his company, you cannot do so. Each one is bound by this bond. We leave Baba's company in the Golden Age. In the Golden Age, Baba is pleased to leave you with the fortune of your kingdom. He has faith that you children will rule your kingdom very well and he therefore remains carefree. Those from London have served those around London very well and have made service increase very well. Now you have to spread yourselves around the world even more. Wherever there is a need, London has enough hands who can help in service. You have given very good proof. In order to make your stage powerful at Amrit Vela, continue to have different experiences. Sometimes experience the Karmatit stage and sometimes the angelic stage. Sometimes have a heart-to-heart conversation. Have all the variety of experiences. Sometimes be a server and tour around in your subtle form. Continue to move forward with these experiences. Blessing. May you die alive and gain victory over your physical senses with the awareness of a new life. Children who have fully died alive cannot be attracted by the physical senses. To die alive means that you have died to everything and that your old life has finished. Since you have taken a new birth, then how can you be influenced by your physical senses in your new birth and new life? In the new life of a Brahma Kumar or Kumari, you are even beyond having the knowledge of what it means to be influenced by the physical senses. Make sure that there isn't the slightest breath, that is, sanskar of a Shudra trapped anywhere. Slogan: merge God's love in your heart at Amrit Vela and no other love will then attract you. Experience the complete and perfect stage, the same as Father Brahma. 24. Stay beyond sound, and with your elevated and powerful stage, go beyond all gross attractions and be loving and detached. I, a master seed, a master almighty authority soul, am full of peace and power. With this fullness, experience the Karmatit stage and the stage of being equal, complete and perfect, the same as the Father. Om Shanti.